Welcome, Empire fans, to a special podcast of Wheelersburg football, speaking with head coach Rob Woodward. Coach, first game in the books, and you take out Chillicothe 31-0. And I'll let you talk about the game, but there's a couple of things I'd like to bring up for just to get your input on. But what was your overall thoughts at the beginning of the game? And I know we had a Friday night and then a Saturday night, and just with all that's going on in 2020, just couldn't fit in normal, could it?
Well, I tell you, you look at the adversity that these kids faced going into Friday, and then of course, get to the game. We had just finished our special teams warm-ups, and we're getting ready to start our regular team warm-ups, and blew the whistle and said, light and delay. So that was 2 hours later after that we sat in the locker room, half the kids on the bus, half the kids in the locker room, trying to keep them motivated, try to get out there at 9 o'clock. And I'm telling you, our kids came out ready to play football more than I've seen in a regular year, sometimes maybe even. They were so fired up to play. And, of course, bam, bam, we got those two plays, the kickoff and then the interception on the very next play. And what a way to start a game. Matthew Miller right where he needs to be. Kenny Sandlin gets the ball tipped a little bit. Our guys are all in position. We talked about a few guys that we could have corrected a few things, but regardless, a great opening play. And, of course, then the whistle's blown again. And rather than sit there all night and, after it was all said and done, could we have got it in? I think so, but I thought best thing is get these kids home so they can get some sleep and nutrition. So we make that trip back. We went back on Saturday, and our guys came out again with more energy than I could have ever dreamed with all the stuff that they've had to go through. And this group is just really, really growing on me in terms of how they're able to handle these adversity that's thrown at them and how they're just enjoying one another. It's really great as a coach to see guys enjoying one another, being around one another, playing with one another. And I definitely saw that. But, what a defensive performance when you see a shutout there. Guys were on both sides of the football. We're trusting those on the opposite side to do their job, and we're holding their own on their side, and just did a great job of alignment, assignment football. And then we flew around. I thought we really flew around and tackled well and played physical. Flipping over to the offensive side of the ball, we had some great performances. Matthew Miller had the interception early on, but he had 6 catches for 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jake Gregg at the quarterback, 13 of 15, 194 yards, I want to say, something like that, and 3 touchdowns. The 2 Lattimore boys really debuted themselves, and Derek ran extremely hard. Eric showed the explosiveness that he has. Eli Swords, we complimented him on a couple of his runs, a third down run where he really banged it up in there, broke a couple of tackles, got a first down for us. That was huge. And then Carson Williams run the ball hard. Case Dyer's another explosive one that runs the ball extremely hard. I think we had 6 or 7 guys carry the football. We had 6 or 7 guys catch a pass. The offensive line, I thought, really dominated against a Chillicothe team that really put some big guys up front. But we came off the ball well. We still made mistakes. Fumbled the ball inside the 10 down there, which left points on the field there. And then of course missed a field goal later too. That was some points off. But our kicking game, aside from that missed field goal, was extremely sound. Braxton had some great punts. He did great on the opening kickoff. Other kickoffs that he had were right where we needed them to be, and didn't want to put it in some of the hands of the explosive returners that they had. So from a special team standpoint, I was really pleased with the play. So offensively, defensively, and special teams, we just really played great football for a week 1 with only 1 scrimmage. And again, all the adversity that we had to face, I was extremely pleased.
Coach, I'd like to point out, I always like to kind of go back and look at the little small things. I know you like those things too as well. I point out a couple plays here. 4 plays that I'd like to mention, and you can mention their names. Is there was one play was when they did the fake punt. Ethan Eisen I guarantee if you line him up with that Barnes kid, he's probably not going to win that race half the time. But man, he took the right angle and slowed him down. I thought it was a good play.
Yeah, very good play. Our guys, we talked about making sure that we had them bottled up. They did some funky things on special teams that we wanted to make sure that we were alert to, and that's what I like to see, is that they were extremely coachable. We were coaching them on the field. We coached them up in practice, but they were on the field ready to make some of the adjustments, and they did that. Gage Atkins was big on that play too. I think he recovered a fumble on that play. He had 2 fumbles recovered in the game, and had a great performance at the Pirate position.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ethan's been coming on. Ethan's battled injuries. Talk about adversity with that young man. He's battled adversity in terms of injury over the last 2 years. This year, early on in the spring, and he's come out and been playing really 2 ways, getting some offensive reps at tackle, defensive reps at defensive end, and playing at a very high level right now.
Yeah, you mentioned Gage Atkins there. That was the kid I was going to. 2 plays that stick out in my mind. There was one as an option play that he was caught in between, and he kind of just froze there for a little bit, forced the give to the running back, and then he made the tackle on the running back. I thought it was pretty impressive. And then there was an open field tackle where he broke down beautifully on the right side of the field there.
Yeah, feathering the quarterback is something we talk about, making sure you force the pitch and then be able to run the line and make that play. It's tough on an outside linebacker. Gage has gotten really good at that. He blitzed off the edge, had a sack, had another half sack later on when we brought him off the edge, and another time I think he finished the game with something like 5 tackles, 6.5 tackles, something like that. 2 fumble recoveries. One of those happened to be a fumble that we had that he was able to jump on. But 2 fumble recoveries, 1.5 sacks, and 5 tackles. Very good day for somebody on the defensive side of the ball. Very good.
Yeah. And then the 2 guys up front that I kind of noticed, they're not the biggest guys, but man, there were some big defensive linemen there for Chillicothe at Chase Conley and Will Whitley. I thought both of those guys, did a good job of going up against some big dudes.
Yeah, just being sound, and creating movement when needed to, or just shielding off what needed to be done. And it wasn't a perfect game for us up front. But daggone, we talked about you got to take the fight to them, and our guys did that. They were shielding guys off and blocking them back, and Blake Richardson blowing guys off the ball, Jay Holsinger blowing guys off the ball. I mean, a lot of strength down there with those seniors across the board, and just the explosiveness was great to see on that offensive line.
Yeah, Coach, congratulations on that first win. You move on to Memphis, SOC now on the line, and briefly, we're kind of a little long today, but briefly, just what does Williamsburg have to do to knock off the Falcons?
Reisner and Lewis. Vogelson Lewis, a quarterback, good with his feet, has a great arm, and will just really throw it where it needs to be. And then of course got Reisner, number 7, that runs right underneath it. Matthew Reisner. Both of those are extremely talented players. They got some other individuals for sure that we've all had to take account and look at, but we've got to make sure that we know where those 2 are on the field at all times. Whether they're both back there in the secondary defensively, and we've just got to come out and just play with that explosiveness that we played with at Chillicothe. Just that eagerness to play the game of football. I mean, I really felt like our guys played with a sense of purpose to show people how hard they've worked, and we got to continue that.
Coach, any final thoughts this week before we knock off here tonight?
We're extremely excited that we're playing football here in 2020. We're going to go ahead and make this game our senior game, recognize our senior parents and our seniors for this game, and so it's going to be our senior night to make sure we get that in here early on. Just God forbid that something would happen later, and if we happen to lose a game or something. But really excited to recognize those guys, and I know there's going to be a lot of outlets, media outlets, that is going to provide this game for fans to be able to watch. We feed off the energy that people bring into our stadium, but I'm really proud of the job the guys have done of generating their own energy, and I think they're going to I think they're going to play at a high level, and I know there will be a lot of Pirate fans that will be tuning in and watching and listening in every capacity that they can to try to get their fill of little Pirate football.
And that will be a 7 o'clock kickoff, correct?
7 o'clock kickoff, you bet.
That's Coach Rob Woodward with this week's thoughts on his matchup with the Memphis Falcons. And we appreciate your time, Coach, and thank you for tuning in to Bergfin and talking with us.
Hey, Gene, appreciate it. Thanks for, attending the games, giving me a chance to talk about some of our kids and coming out and providing that. I know I got some family members back home in Gallipolis that tune in every chance they get just to be able to hear it. So thanks for all you guys do.
All right. Appreciate it, Coach.
Yep. Go Bird.